So hi all, let us see what is the difference between all remove filters, all selected and all except functions in Power BI. So with this, in this we will see what is the filter context with the DAX function. It's crucial for aggregation and custom matrix, and we will understand the difference for every DAX function here. So let's look at all. The what all will do, it will remove all the filters from a particular table or a particular column. Okay, and this is going to remove filter from all the levels, from the page level, from the visual level. Okay, so this is the way how we use the all function. Calculate the sum of calculate the total amount from the sales table, and we are using the all function from the sales whole tables. Okay, so this will remove all my filters from the sales table. Okay, now there is remove filters. Removes filters similar to all but clearer intent. Okay, so what it does is it functions in the same way as all function, but the only difference lies is in that is all function it returns me a table, but remove filters it does not return me anything. Okay, think of remove filters and all as a function. All is actually a function which does the task of removing the filters, but it also returns me a value. But here remove filters, it does the task of removing the filter but does not return anything. Okay, we will see the difference shortly. All selected function, it keeps the slicer selection but it ignores the visual filters. Okay, so what it will do is that it respects the external filters. Okay, within the visual, whatever filter you are using, that it will not respect. Okay, but it will respect the filters coming from the external, from the slicer selections. Okay, because slicer selection is an external filter. Let's look at all except. All except, it will remove all the filters except for the specified columns, and this is the way how we use it. This is the syntax. Okay, so in the quick comparison table, it's just the same thing. It removes all the filter, grand total, removes the filters for cleaner code, that is for remove filters. All selected, it keeps slicer, it ignores the visual. All except, it keeps specific columns. Okay, and this is the summary entirely. Okay, let's move into the Power BI and let's see this. So we are dealing with this oil amount data, in which we have the month column, the oil companies, the total quantity which is in metric tons, and the year. Okay, so let us go ahead and create a table visual. Let's drag the month column and let's drag the quantity column in it. Okay, so here you can just see that the quantity has been filtered, the sum of quantity has been filtered on the basis of month. Okay, now let me create a measure, and in this measure I will name this measure as measure all, and calculate the sum of the total metric tons. Okay, and here I'm going to use the all function. In the all function, I'm going to remove all the filters from the month column. So see what will happen. Now if I drag this and if I place it here, you will see that whatever filter was supposed to be applied on the basis of month in the table level, it has been removed. All the filters. Now even if I use, let's say even if I use a slicer, right? And in this slicer, if I go ahead and if I place the month, let's say if I select, this is an external filter, I go ahead and I select August, you see still the measure all, it will return me this value. What is this value? This is going to return me the sum of the entire quantity based on the entire month. Okay, based on the entire month means it's summing from March, January to December, it is summing me all the values. Okay, so it is giving me your 2856289.46. If I remove this film, you will see that this sum total is coming in all the rows for these months. Now if I go ahead and if I calculate the new measure, and instead of all I will be using remove filters. So let us use remove filters, and I use the calculate, sum the quantity, comma. Now here I will be using the remove filters. Okay, and I will be removing the filter from the month. So there is not going to be much difference. Okay, there isn't going to be any difference because it works in the same way as all. So if I go ahead, select this table, and I go ahead and I place it here, you will see it works in the same way. It has also removed all the filter. It has given me the values, the sum of all the quantities for all the months here. Okay, so now let's look at the difference between all remove filters and all selected function. Okay, so let us now go ahead, create a new measure, and in this measure let me give this as all selected, and let me calculate sum of the quantity. Okay, and here I will be using the all selected, and I will be selecting the month. Now what this all selected will do, okay, see, once I use all selected, right, let me hit enter. Okay, now I'm going to place this all selected here. See what all selected has done. All selected is giving me the same values, right? It from the table level. Now remember what is there in all selected. Your table level visual filter will not work. Okay, here in table, if you just see April month, on the basis of April month, the sum of quantity has been calculated. Here it is working fine, right? But for all selected, right, it will, on the table level, the filters will not work. Okay, but let's say if I go ahead and if I click on August, which is an external slicer level, okay, if I go ahead and click on August, you see this will work. This has given me the proper value, which is the same as the sum of quantities. Once I click on the external filter, it has given me the filtered value. So this is the difference between all selected function, versus all function, and remove filters function. Okay, this is it respects the external slicer function, but on the visual level it does not. Now let us go ahead and create this new measure, and here I will be all except, and let me calculate the same sum of quantities, and here I will be using all except. It accepts the table name and the column. So except for the month column, right, I will be, so it will only filter on the basis of month column, but it will not filter on the basis of any of the months, any of the other columns, like whether it is year or whether it is your companies. It will not work on any other filter. Okay, so now let me go ahead and drag this all except function, and let me place it here. Okay, let me shorten this one down. Okay, so in all except function, if you will see, right, all except function, it has given me the proper values as is shown over here in the sum of quantities, right? But then what is the difference between all except function and this sum of quantities? Okay, we can directly use this one. What's the need for this one? The only difference is that if I go ahead, now let me go ahead and create one more slicer. Okay, and in this slicer I will be using the year. Let me place the year, and let me place it here, and from the format visualization, from the slicer setting, let me choose the style as drop down. Okay, now over here if I go ahead and if I select the year 2021. You see what has happened? This has been filtered. All the other, all measure, all remove filters, all selected filters, and this sum of all have been filtered on the basis of here, except for this one. This has remained intact. This is the difference between all except function versus the rest of them. All except function, it will only work for that particular filter that has been applied. For the rest of the other external filters, right, it will not work. So it will only work if I go ahead and if I just choose month, it will filter on the basis of month, but it will not filter on the basis of year. It will remain intact. That's the only difference. Okay. Now, from the table level, okay, from this visual level, you got an understanding, a clear clarity of what is the difference between each. When it comes to measure all and when it comes to measure remove filters, right? Let me give you some more clarity. Okay, let's go to the DAX. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's use the all function. All function, what it will do, it will remove all the values, all the filters from that particular column or particular table, right? Let me select the month, but it will also return me a table it will also return me a table, right? So if I go ahead and if I click on run, you will see it has returned me a table. But if I go ahead and if I use remove filters, right, and if I hit on run, you see it will give me an error saying that remove filters cannot be used as a table expression. That means it cannot return a table. It can only appear as a filter in calculate. So that is the difference. Okay, that is the difference between all of this. So I hope you really enjoyed this video session. If you did, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification.